at the end of the group, we always reach out and we say, like, we have these groups coming up. Or do you have any interest? And I usually get, either they don't respond or they say, no, I have no interest. So I decided to reach out to a bunch of those people again, the ones maybe who had posted in the groups and were a little more active. And from that, I think I got 2 people who actually were interested. So maybe they just weren't interested when I was doing my free group, but now they were. And then my second strategy is I decided to go through my friends and single out the ones who actually had babies in the past year. I felt like that's kind of what I was about. When I started being a coach, I had just, I was 6 weeks postpartum. So my whole journey was kind of me getting off the baby weight and, getting back to where I was before, feeling even better before I had the baby. So I reached out. I feel like, at the age now where a lot of people are having their babies, whether it's the first, second, third. There's so many people on my friends list who, even in the past year, even if it was a year ago, I reached out to them, and so many people responded positively. A lot of them said, if they had young babies, they said, not now, I'm nursing, or, I'm still getting up at night. But definitely, they were like, definitely keep me in mind in a couple months, like reach back out. So that was really good. And that kind of just, I don't know, it kind of like fueled my fire. I was like, actually, people are interested. I always felt like I was being pushy or salesy before, which is why I think I never invited, but I haven't gotten any negativity yet. I also kind of tailored my invite to something that I was comfortable with. For some reason, when I was reaching out to people and being like, I thought of you, I'm running this group and I thought of you, I felt like they thought I was like calling them fat or something, or that I was saying like, I thought you should join this group because I think you need it. I don't know. It made me feel uncomfortable. So I kind of tailored it more to something being like, oh, I'm running this group. And I think I said something like, I hope you don't mind me reaching out and asking you this, but you never know if someone's interested unless you take that step and reach out. So I started with something like that. Kind of putting myself out there for them. And then I went on to just say, I'm running this group. I don't know. If you guys want it, I can send it to you. I just kind of talked about how fun the group was and we support each other. And, and then asked if they wanted more information. And then usually if they responded yes, I would kind of tailor the detail towards them. I usually start with the 21-day fix. And since I did that when I first started, I'd say like, I have this video I'll send you. It's great. I lost X amount of pounds. I think it was like 20 or something, after 3 rounds. It was so great. It really helped me take off the baby weight, back to like having a baby. So I kept bringing up, the postpartum journey. So that's kind of where I was when I started. And then I just kind of started, I think maybe it was Nicole Callahan who talked to us before. I'm not sure. I forget who it was. And she told us, some of her scripts. So what I did is I kind of took her advice and I started with my friends list, like at the A's. And I just started like going down in alphabetical order and like being like, okay, I'm going to invite that person, that person, that person. And, I just had to kind of I had to change my attitude. I had to just get over the fear of them saying no. And, I don't even know how many people I've invited, but I've only really gotten 2 no's. I've gotten a lot of people who haven't responded, but then I've gotten so many, yeah, I'm interested, but not right now, which has been awesome. What else? Oh, I also feel like some people who didn't respond to me, like the more I post about my kids and stuff, or like something that they may connect with, if they want to like my post or comment on it, I think then they feel guilty that they haven't responded to my message. I actually had one person, respond to me today. It had been like over a week. But she had commented on one of my posts on Facebook and then messaged me after And she was like, oh, I had a message to you, but I forgot to hit reply or something. So I think she was like kind of like backtracking that she didn't answer my message. So I feel like keeping up with my posts has also really helped me. So I don't know. There wasn't any secret sauce. I basically just kind of followed what Chrissy said. She's been saying all along that I never really did. And, the postpartum journey is like, I really just kind of stuck with that. And I know so many people who have had babies. So I'm kind of, on that route right now. And those are the people I'm kind of reeling in, maybe if not now, in a couple of months when they're ready. So I think that's basically it.
Oh my God. I didn't even know this was going to totally connect to what we're talking about tonight. But what you did, Jory, is you branded yourself. Not with a hot iron. But, so I just can't. You just blew my mind. And it's so simple, but it connected everything. You connected to your why. It's like why you started was because you were postpartum and wanted to lose the baby weight. Why you went from discount coach to actually doing this business is because of the results you got. And so who's going to connect to your why is people that have that same situation going on that you had when you started, where you had a new baby and you needed to do something, and this was it. So I just you did it. I mean, on top of that, yes, that last piece there that I think everyone is, I think it's the team as a whole, the weakness is that we then wait for people to come to us, and it will happen. You will have people come to you here and there as you go. But for the most part, you have to actually invite people to your party. And so obviously, that's the really big thing that you changed was, inviting people. But I had no idea that you invited specific people. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. You didn't just invite anybody and everybody. You thought about, okay, who is it that you're going to help the easiest and connect with? And yeah, it's new moms, because you can say right to them, you can share a little tidbit about your own journey of right after you had your baby, and right there, right away, you have a connection with them. So that is amazing. I'm going to save questions for you for the end. Okay. So thank you so much. I can't even believe it's when stars align. It's I couldn't have even planned this better. I thought you were just going to be another two stories, and it's the same thing, the same call. So thank you so much. Okay, so I have so much on your brand, and I'm gonna try really hard to just give you step one tonight. Okay. You know me, and I talk a lot, and sometimes I get excited and I talk about other things, but I'm really going to try to focus on this one thing. Okay. So the big thing with your brand is you're not just branding yourself. Your brand is also creating what we call your niche. And your niche is exactly what Jory was just describing, of who is going to really connect with you. Now, can Jory help one of these ladies' husbands? Of course. One of these ladies' moms? Of course. Your niche doesn't mean, it's not like this exclusive place where you don't let someone in because you're no, you're not in my niche, you're 65 and I only work with 25 to 45, but your niche is who you're marketing to. So you will come across and help other people. But I think what's really hard, and especially this has been hard for me with my niche. What's hard about your niche is when you really close in on your niche of people, you are leaving out a lot of, you are not marketing to most people. You are marketing to a very specific group of people. And the scary part of that is that, you know, at least for me, I'm always like, okay, well, I'm going to lose like 80% of the people that I'm, you know, that are reading my posts are not going to connect with that. But that's okay, because what's going to happen is that 10 to 20% that does connect, they are going to connect on such a deep level that they are going to want to be a part of your community. So whether that's a challenger, a coach, whatever it might be, they are going to feel like they know you. They're going to feel like you, more than that they know you, they're going to feel like you get them before you even talk to them, because of how you talk about your life. So branding yourself is differentiating yourself from the pack. You know, we're all coaches. We all run challenge groups. We all drink Shakeology. We all do Beachbody programs. Your brand is what separates you. Okay. Now, I'm actually having a hard time with this, guys, because it's almost like a negative that one of my real interests is health and fitness. And it almost works against me in Beachbody, because it's like, it's hard to differentiate from the pack when one of, like, a big part of my brand before I did Beachbody, I was into fitness. But what I've come to realize with this is that I am going to connect well with people who love fitness as well. I'm going to connect best with those people. And instead of shying away from that, I need to embrace it. So just looking at who I can see right now, okay? Like Amanda obviously is going to connect with nurses. Angie's going to connect with lawyers. Lisette's going to connect with, you're not going to connect with lawyers, Angie? Lawyers who don't like being lawyers. Lisette's going to connect with homeschooling moms. Lisette homeschools. How friggin' cool is that? Like, that is like a whole, that in itself is a niche, okay? So I'm thinking of, I don't know if Rob is here. I know Rob, you know, is into his music. Jen Ellis, I thought she was here. Maybe she's just hiding though. She just might have her camera off. But Jen Ellis is a vegetarian, and you know, she does races. She's like a baker. I feel like Jen Ellis is like has a lot of like tricks up her sleeve that I don't know. Like, I feel like she's like creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she can like bake and stuff. That's stuff I can't do. Like bake and like create something, you know, like a little craft or something. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think she's got that up her sleeve. So anyways, all of us have these things that, you know, anything that interests you, if you knit, if you, I don't know, play bingo, like, I don't even know, but anything you do besides Beachbody, these are the things you need to start to think about as, oh yes, working out in the jammies. Yeah, and Mary too. I know, Mary too. Well, I mean, Mary has bar, and like, that's actually, although it's still fitness, it's really good because it's not Beachbody at all. And it, you know, it shows this another depth to her. Anyone who teaches any fitness, you know, that's a whole nother area where you're also an instructor. So we all have these things about us, and we should be sharing those, but you want to be sharing them like with Beachbody, just like Jory was saying. You want to be connecting in your posts to who you were before and who you are now. So I know I'm throwing a lot at you. So we're just going to talk about, this is step one of getting your brand. That's the only step we're going to talk about. I'm talking myself into that because I want to talk about everything. Okay. Step one is basically determining what is your area of expertise and who is your audience. So your area of expertise is your brand and your audience is your niche. Is it a niche? Because I call it a niche. Is it like a, so, yeah. It is? It's not like a niche? No, it's a niche. Okay. Sophia's here. She said it's a niche too. And then she spelled it. Okay, so I found 2 cool ways to do your niche. One, if you've ever been on a branding call, you've heard this before, because this has been passed down from like Lindsay Matway. But one is to make a list, and you take a piece of paper and you put it down the middle. And on one side, you write similarities, and on the other side, you write differences. So on one side, you write how you are like every other Beachbody coach. Okay? And then on the other side, you write how you're different. Now, the differences don't have to be, you know, like obviously there's you being a mom is part of your brand, and it's different from other Beachbody coaches that are moms because they're not a mom to your kids. They don't have your dynamic. They don't have your kids. So that right there makes you a different mom, okay? So all those things, like when you put mom, you want to make like a sub list of all of those things that you do that make you a different kind of mom. Are you a working mom? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you a part-time mom? Are you a homeschooling mom? Are your kids young? Are your kids all over with ages? Are you a new mom? Are you all of these things? Do you have one child? Do you have 10 children? So all of these things make you, did you suffer with I don't know, like maybe there's things you want to share. Maybe you had a lot of miscarriages. Maybe you had issues with fertility. These are all things that this is up to you. I'm not saying share every minute, everything about your life, okay? And these might not be things you even want to post about on Facebook, but want to share in your private groups, share with your challengers so they know you better. But all of those things, I would even say list the struggle, the good, the bad, the ugly. Are you a strict mom? Are you a laid back mom? Are you an attachment mother? Amanda is very passionate about breastfeeding. And that's something she has embraced. She's joined breastfeeding groups and has really connected with other women who share that passion. So, I breastfed, but I don't have the same passion about it. So I probably wouldn't connect with those ladies. I mean, maybe if I had a baby right now, maybe I should just try it and see. I mean, that's all I'm saying. But, I might be different. I might be I actually see myself at this point in my life, if I had a baby, it probably would be that attachment baby. I'd be like, what? My baby's 2.5 and it's still on me, okay? Just leave me alone. But, so all of those things, you being a mom, not one woman here is the same mom as any other woman here. And there's only, less than 10 of us on this call. So, do you have any kind of hobby? Do you have any little secret, I play the piano. It's so random and I haven't played in a while. I know.
I didn't even know she played the piano until now.
Can you hear her? You knew before right now.
Yeah, right now.
I used to play at Bakshi's house when you were little on Christmas Eve. Oh, well, I guess you were little, yeah. You didn't know I played the piano, see? So, any random things about yourself that you can think of, you're going to list those. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start to go through that list and you're going to narrow it down to 4 or 5 main categories, okay? So the main category is that you're a mom. You know, another main category would be that you have a passion for music or wine or brewing beer or, you know, anything, like anything that you like besides working out and being a Beachbody coach, basically. Okay? And that is going to be what you start to create content around. Now, do. So that first part is finding out who you are. There's a second way you can do this. So another coach that I watched, she suggested, and I think this would be a funner way, more fun way, no, funner. Anyways, it's going to be fun. You go on Pinterest, and she was like, get a glass of wine, set your timer for like 30 to 45 minutes, go on Pinterest, scroll, and pin things that catch your eye, whether it's colors, styles, scenery, like anything and everything, you know. Is it fall scenery? Is it winter scenery? Is it a summery scene that catches your eye? Like all of these things, just don't think, just pin and make. Now, I don't even have Pinterest, so I kind of don't even know what I'm talking about right now, but go through Pinterest and pin things, okay? And then at the end, you have a board and you look at it and it tells a lot about you. You can start to determine what your real interests are based on what you pinned. Is this making sense for people that have Pinterest? I'm getting Pinterest like tomorrow, by the way. No, it's not? No, it's not. Okay. I don't know. She said to make a board. Okay, so that's what she said.
I think like a board.
I'll post the call for you guys, the YouTube video for you guys, but so you guys can watch it. It was quick. It was like less than 10 minutes. But the other thing is I'm going to post a personality test. So the personality test is also going to help you really find out who you are. And this personality test, it can even tell you like what color you are and all kinds of stuff like that. So when you start to create your brand, like if your color is yellow, you know, and when you have a quote to share, you can actually make it your own. Like you can take a quote and you can make your own little, you know, picture, and you can incorporate your logo, the yellow there, whatever you want it to be, so that over time, people that follow you, when they see that look, when they see that, they know it's you. They know it's you before they even see your name. So that's where you're headed with them. Don't do that yet. That's not in step one. But just finding out who you are, and once you know who you are, now you're going to determine who is your target audience. So not just who they are, but understand them. What makes them tick? And basically, once you know who you are, you know your target audience. So you're talking to you before Beachbody. You're talking to, you know, whether it was physical, emotional, mental, all of the above. You're talking to that person and you're sharing how Beachbody has changed it. So there's so many ways you can go with this. So for example, for me, like a lot of my transformation has been inner. It hasn't been, I mean, I've had like little outer results, but most of it's been inner. And so to tell you the truth, guys, that's hard because all of you have had an inner one, but when you've had an outer one, you can just kind of share that at first while you get warmed up and then start sharing the inner. But when you don't have that and you have to share the inner, it's hard. It's hard to share who you were and what you struggled with. What were your fears? You know, so think back. What does, Lisette or Amanda or Jory from however many months ago, what does that person fear? You probably still fear it sometimes. What are the fears? What are the dreams? What do you dream about? What do you want for your kids? What do you want for your future? So for example, for me, I always envisioned that I would be home with my kids. Always. From the time I was a little girl and didn't even really think deeply about it, I knew two things. I knew that my first daughter would be named Sophia, and I knew that I would be a stay-at-home mom. I knew that when I was like 8. It was just in me. And so that's a big part of my journey, like being a mom and not being able to be the mom I had envisioned. That's part of my journey. Now, talking about that is going to exclude a lot of people. There's like half of moms out there that are like, oh my God, I never wanted to, nor do I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And none of them are going to connect to that. And that's why I've held back on it a lot. But I have to be okay with it because there are people out there with that same passion, and that's who I'm going to first, who I'm going to attract the most. So that's just an example, of part of my journey with this. And with that, there's like another level where I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but once I was officially like, fine, third kid, finally we made this decision. Like I had to be a stay-at-home mom at that point because of his, just because of the schedule we had with his medical stuff and everything. And so it was like kind of this decision was made for me. And then I still wasn't like, I wasn't fully happy. I wasn't fulfilled. So this is all part of my story, and branding, my brand is like showing the kind of mom I am with my kids, with being home with them, with Beachbody. What makes you stand out from people? Are you funny? Are you witty? Angie is funny. You are. You're funny. So Angie too, you're funny. Like you are going to take your funny and you're going to put it on out there more, so you're funny like with us and stuff. And like that little one of those posts that you did that was fun in the group, like doing what you could do one of those right on your Facebook page, you're funny. So and know your humor. So are you slapstick funny? Are you witty funny? Are you silly funny? So get to know yourself and then be that. Are you direct? Are you a tell it like it is type of person? If you are, be that person. You can be direct and still be gentle and encouraging, because if it's coming from a good place, so like if you're being direct and you're feeling like it feels good to just kind of be like nasty to somebody, like obviously you're being nasty. But if you can love somebody while you tell them the truth, that is money in what we do. So be that type of person. Be direct. Are you really positive? Do you have a strong faith? Are you a vegan? Are you all of these things? That are going to make you stand out. Okay. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Oh, good night, babe.
Yeah.
Love you. I thought you just wanted a random kiss. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so what makes you stand out? And then you're going to create content based on that. So we'll talk more about content on the next, like I'm going to just keep doing these until we're done with branding. But basically your content is just giving people little pieces of advice. So like today I posted, I'm really working on having every post have content at this point. And so today I put up a post. Sam and I were just on the floor. I was working on my call. He was doing his little pad reading thing, and he like read a couple of words with it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I set the camera up. I took a picture. I posted it, and I told the story of what was going on. So I talked about my business, talked about what we were doing. And then I just was suggested the little game that he has for kids in pre-K that are ready to start to sound out some words. So I gave a little mom tip. So adding value, that's content. That tiny little thing right there is content. So it doesn't have to be all of these, a recipe is content. A little tip, like if you found a really good stretch or a cool water bottle, everything that any kind of value you can provide someone is content. Okay, so with your niche, again, you're going to get very specific. You're going to figure out, is it women or men? What is your age group? Is it working moms? Is it stay-at-home moms? I'm still like, I don't know. I don't know if mine is working moms or stay-at-home moms. I'm going to kind of test both because I haven't actually ever targeted either one. I've kind of done like moms in general, but I do work, but I am home, and I did work as a mom for 6 years. So the whole teacher thing is another pool. Like, I really understand teachers, and I'd be really good at helping any teacher, be a coach because I get it. So it's something you're going to play with. Like, you're going to, target one area, see how that goes, do another area for a month, see how that goes, and kind of find your exact niche. So right now, like, mine's a little broader. It's like moms, moms that have some type of a gig, and I'm sorry, so your niche is going to be, you're going to get an age, you're going to get women or men, you're going to get, are they fitness fanatics? Do they like to sew? Well, you're going to get a very specific niche, and then your posts are all going to be those 4 to 6 things, about those 4 to 6 things. So I know it sounds like you can't get a lot of content, but you really can. So like if you have like humor and a mom, if those are 2 of your things in your brand, you can just tell a funny story about your kids. There you go, right? You gave somebody some value that day. You told a funny story, and maybe at the end, the funny story is like, your kids won't eat his peas, and at the end, you had a solution, or at the end, you don't have a solution. You're like, moms, can you help me out? What do you do? Do you fight this battle? Or how do I get them to eat the peas? I wouldn't even say, what do you do? I would just say, how do you get them to eat the peas? Because then they're going to tell you, leave him alone. He'll be fine. My kid did that. And you're going to get all this conversation and all these moms connecting with you. So that is really step 1. Let me see. Did I get everything with step 1? I did. So that is, okay. Well, once you've really identified your brand, so step 1 is identifying your brand. Then the last part of that is like basically your mission statement of what you want your team to be. So a lot of you already have a team name, and you've probably already thought of this, but that's like kind of step 1B. It's not quite step 2 yet. So once you've decided what your brand is and who your niche is, now you can think about what is your vision for your team, because that's going to kind of seal who you're looking for. So if your vision for your team is to have a bunch of kick-ass moms that can, get fit, feel their best, supplement their income for whatever reason they need, and feel fulfilled and feel motivated and have self-esteem, like, get really specific of what this has done for you, and that's going to basically be what you envision yourself doing for your team. So I wouldn't say, like, I'm going to give you homework. I'm not going to put the mission statement in there. Unless you already have your brand kind of made, then you can go on and do it. But your homework right now is to figure out your brand and your niche. Okay? Your brand and your niche. So who are you and who is your target audience? Based on who you are, who is your target audience? And get as specific as possible. So really they say 4 to 5, I'll give you 6 things. Okay? Yay! All right, let's do questions. Oh, wow, we had a lot of chat. You guys are always chatting and I'm missing it. Yeah, so, but Angie, you know what? So I just, Angie's like popped up, it's right in the middle, but she's saying with Pinterest, I do think why I want to get on Pinterest is I think it's going to help with content. So there's so much out there for, like you said, like tips and recipe ideas and everything. So I do think it probably is good to have that. I don't know about what the girl was talking about with pinning stuff, but I'll post it in case some of you are good on Pinterest. Maybe you'll see stuff. Oh, I was frozen. Oh, Mary had to go. Okay, nurses. Who don't like being nurses, Amanda? I know. Yes, Jen is really good at being being herself. I agree with you, Angie. Look at all the chatting that I missed. Yeah, Lisette, do the personality test. I'll post mine, and then you guys can try it out, and you can let me know how yours is. But Eleni Rock gave me this one, and she suggested to do it a couple of times because she got a different answer the 2 times, and she just incorporated them both. She used the personality test more for her, like what her page looks like, her cover photo. When she posts a quote, she makes it, and like what the design is. So she used it more for that. And she came up, like hers was like, she's like fierce and something else. And so she did like black and gold with a touch of pink. And like, so she designed, you know, she suggested the personality test to really help to just fine tune it and make everything that you're creating really just look like it's yours. So we're headed there. Like, don't get nervous about all that. Like, keep doing what you're doing with your posting, and you guys are doing really well with connecting to your why and connecting to your audience. But once you really chisel out and narrow down your brand, your posting is going to be that much easier because you're going to know exactly what you post about every day. I post about these 4 things, you know, or these 3 things. Being a mom, you know, I post about these 6 things and 3 times a day. So I go through them. Angie, when she tries stuff like that, she gets 1 comment in mom groups replies, but then again, when you try stuff like what, Angie? Like posting about, like asking a question?
Ooh, look what happened. What would you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't respond. Or like my one person that always likes all my stuff, but like will never do Beachbody, should respond.
Yeah. I mean, maybe too, it's just, I actually like, this is like a weakness of mine because like I don't want people to tell me what to do, so I don't ask. But it's almost good. It's like I run my ship and like I don't want mom advice. I'm like, no, if I'm putting them on timeout, I don't care if you said that your doctor said timeout's bad for their brain or something, their psyche. My kid sits in timeout, okay? Don't tell me what to do. So like I'm very like that, but it is good, like maybe too, just being like, a lot of times I do like, you moms feel me, you know, like, so I'll just tell a story and I'll just kind of be like, you guys feel me with this, you know? So that might be more targeted for, because you have to, your brand to like, I actually watched a whole call with Danielle and Tony, and I mean, she's like, literally, this part of it, I was like, yeah, she does that. She's like, be very, as you narrow it down, don't stop until you love it, because you have to be your brand everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. And that's because you're you. So like your brand has to be you. So you can't, you can't pretend to be this way or that way, and then when you're with people, you're something else. So because you're branding yourself, you're branding a person, you have to be that person when you're in real life, not just on your social media and in your posts, So I liked that, because she was saying like she's like a big part of her brand is fashion. And she's like, sometimes it's tiring. She's like, I am going somewhere and I'm like, I have to wear cute shoes and funky tights because people, like are going to expect that of me. So, so just make sure that you definitely, you really like what you come up with, what you actually focus on really putting out there as you and your main interest. It's just going to be the things that you love. So I feel like I answered more than your question, but okay. So everybody, I would love for you guys to do this and then to work with me with doing this. So if you let me know how it's going. Like, how's your list going? Where are you at? What are you thinking? I mean, Angie, obviously part of your brand is going to be being a life coach, which Angie's going to talk to us about next week. And that's going to be, I mean, I actually think too, I don't know how much, but like, I do think you, just like we say to talk about, and this is with any of you guys, anything you're working on too, like anything you're becoming, that's on the horizon for you, talk about it while you're doing it, because as much as you can, because it's like we say, tell people with like the weight loss, it's not the same to be like, hey, I lost all this weight, as watching you through the journey. So if you start to, if you can talk about like things that you're doing, then once you are one, you're already going to have like this whole following of people that are ready for that, which will be really cool. Okay, it's late. We got a late start. So do that. So everybody, it's just one simple step of determining what your expertise is and defining who your audience is, who is your niche, who are you talking to in every post. Danielle actually said, and I heard this so long ago when I started, and I used to do it, and sometimes I do it and sometimes I don't, but she said like she literally posts to one person. She has a specific friend who's a lot like her. She has kids her age. She's still a teacher. And when she posts, she thinks about that friend and posts to that one person. Like she has it down to one person that she posts to. So, and I think it's a really good tip, because I've done that before. I posted to one person, like I posted that person who's like gonna buy the challenge pack and doesn't. I'm gonna post to that person who doesn't know if they're gonna join the team. Like I will write posts to that person, but I think it's a really cool idea to have one person that you identify with and know very well, that when you post, you're always writing to them. That's really gonna make you have a very strong target audience. And to end the night, Mr. Bob Heilig, this is what he said about about your brand. Oh, he quoted someone else, and I don't know who that was, but he said this teacher of his told him, you have to repel in order to attract, to build a powerful brand. You have to repel in order to attract, to build a powerful brand. And in that call I watched, Danielle Natoni said that. She said that, you know, she knew her brand was strong when she started getting real haters. And she's like, you have to, you know, depending how big you want to go with it, you have to put things out there and not care if someone's going to hate on you. So she's like, you know, like all the time she gets told that she looks like a man, for example. That's like one big hater thing that she'll get on her like page. And she's like, I'm fine with it. I get told I look like a man like 6 times a week. I'm over it. And she's like, because her brand is so strong, her message is so strong that, you know, while you're attracting people very strongly to you, you're also repelling the opposite very strongly as well. And so she gets people that are like, oh, I hate her, you know. But it is what it is. So I don't think any of us are gonna have haters like next week, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I mean, you might, you know, when I started, I actually had some haters, but they were people I knew. They weren't, I don't think I've had any stranger haters yet, and I haven't had a hater in a while. So I think the people that hated me when I started were not Facebook friends anymore. And then my brand obviously isn't strong enough for people I don't know to hate me yet. So that's my goal, is to get people to hate me. And once a stranger hates me, I'll know I made it. Show your abs, baby. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions for Jory? Yeah, I get the you're too skinny. I do get that. Yeah, I do. People are nice about it, though. They're not nice about it, but they like skirt around it, you know? But I don't care about that. Jory, thank you so much. Honestly, I didn't even know it was stars aligning that you hit success. You hit it yesterday. I asked you to do this, and it just totally went with, like, you started to brand yourself. That's basically what happened, and you identified your niche. And it's postpartum mamas, baby. I might have a baby just so I can hit that niche. Just kidding. Never say never. All right, this is still recording, so I'm gonna go. Oh, Angie, Lisette.
I unmuted myself. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know if you remember, I told you about this particular lady that I invited to Court of Force. She was really excited about it. Once she saw the video, she felt intimidated. So I just invited her to the 5-day free group last week, and she seemed to have loved it. So I was just wondering, it seems like she's interested in a workout program. How long should I continue to wait before I ask her about Court of Force again, or some other workout?
Yeah, I would ask her now. Like, I would just say, hey, you did the group, and I hope it gave you a good idea of how friendly and supportive and informative our groups are. I know that Court of Force seemed a little intimidating to you. Do you still feel that way? If so, and I would, in the same message, send this, like, if so, I think that maybe one of these programs would be a better starting point for you. And I would send her Country Heat and 21 Day Fit.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, good night. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jory. Thank you, everyone, for being on. Find your niche. Amen. Good night.